All right, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from the Fidens Brewing Company, and they are out of Albany, New York, and this is their Eugene's Axe with pineapple. So this is a double IPA with pineapple and natural flavors. It comes in at 8.5% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed. Time of review. This can is just over 3 weeks old. So recently, I got my hands on a couple cans of Fidens beers. The first one I already reviewed, the Farmer, delicious double IPA, just absolutely fantastic. Loved everything about it. And I also grabbed this one. Now, full disclosure, I've had the base of this beer, Eugene's Axe. It was actually the first beer from Fidens that I reviewed on the channel. And I actually went back to look at that review, and I really enjoyed it. I gave it a 4.35, and I talked about like candied fruit, like orange and mango, some pineapple. And I talked about a little bit about a vanilla kind of sweetness, probably coming from the yeast. I really enjoyed that one. It didn't blow me away. The mouthfeel was spectacular, like many of Fidens beers. So I'm curious to see if the pineapple will make this one better or not. I'm here for it. So I know they do a lot of their beers now conditioned on pineapple. This is one of them. I've not had any of their fruited beers whatsoever. So I'm hoping this is quite delicious. I guess we'll see. So pour it into the #proper glassware and see what we got going on. Try to get a good hefty pour here. I duffed the pour of the Farmer quite a bit, actually. Went everywhere to clean it up. Yeah, smells pretty good. Just stopped me right in my tracks. So, #proper glassware. How does this beer look? I think it looks fucking fantastic, for being honest. That looks absolutely amazing in the glass. Kind of what you expect out of a Fidens beer. Has that, honey orange, golden orange color. Going to be a little bit dull on camera in person. Very vibrant. Hold it up to the light, you can't see through it. Very murky and turbid. A little bit of like light shining through at the bottom, but otherwise opaque. Has just under a 2-finger of this bright white, super creamy looking head. It just looks, again, absolutely fantastic. If you're telling me this is a 8.5% double IPA with pineapple, sure. So if I was doing this blind as a whodunit/mystery beer, I would think, in my opinion, that this pineapple character would be coming right from the hops. It doesn't smell like the pineapple is like from actual pineapple, but it definitely has a pronounced pineapple. It's very fruity pineapple-wise. But there's underlying candied fruits. There is candied orange, a little bit of like mango and peach. Not quite peach gummy rings, just like, a little bit of a candied peach, like a peach Jolly Rancher. That pineapple is definitely getting bigger and bigger as it opens up, though. So, I don't know. There is this nice, like, dank, earthy herbaceousness. Whew. This smells fucking awesome. I'm just being honest with you. As I keep on going back, I said at the beginning, I couldn't tell you, or couldn't decipher or discern the difference between the fruit character from the hops and the pineapple in here if I was doing it blind, blah, blah, blah. Listen, it smells like there's actual pineapple juice in here. I'm starting to get like a slight like pineapple lifesaver, which, I love pineapple lifesavers. However, do I want it in a beer? Depends on the beer. Right now, it's very welcomed in this one. There's also a touch of that vanilla I was talking about, Eugene's Axe, so it's giving me like a pineapple creamsicle vibe. It smells superb, and I want to get into it. Cheers, everyone. This is for the juice fiends, the haze fiends out there. Some folks will say haze bros, the haze boys, whatever you want to call them. This is right in their wheelhouse. That pineapple is pronounced but not overbearing, and I will say it's not pineapple lifesavers. It just has like a overripe sweet pineapple juice kind of kick to it. Body's nice. Higher side of medium, lower side of full. 8.5% appropriate. The mouthfeel. Really good, right? However, not as good as the base, and certainly not as good as a lot of the other beers I reviewed from them. While this does have a nice kind of smooth and like creamy sensation to it, it's a little bit more carbonated than I'm accustomed to. This is like mild to moderate carbonation, more approaching moderate, where a lot of their beers are more in that straight mild to moderate, sometimes even mild. So it makes it a lot softer on the palate and creamier. It just feels a little bit better. So this is one of the few beers from Fidens where I don't think the mouthfeel is substantially better than the base, but also substantially better than a lot of other hazies out there. I think it's well done, well brewed, good mouthfeel, just not amazing. So mouthfeel's a little bit of letdown, body really nice. However, the taste is fantastic. And look at that fucking glass lacing, just awesome. First thing that hits me is that pineapple. And it's funny because right at the tip of the tongue, it has like this tart, slightly acidic like pineapple. As it passes through though, it turns into a sweeter, overripened like pineapple character that's more like a juice, like a pineapple juice. Front to back, omnipresent, predominant note. Never really steps in the way, like, because there's other characteristics I'm getting and discerning on the palate. It's kind of hovering and blanketing the whole palate as just from front to back. It's kind of cool, but also maybe a little bit toned down would be welcomed, just because the other characters are really nice, but it's getting slightly overshadowed by the pineapple. So candied orange, mango, and peach. There's a little bit of like a melon character, I would say. I forgot to mention this is Citra and Galaxy. That is what Eugene's Axe is, brewed with Citra and Galaxy. So it's the base beer plus pineapple. So obviously the Galaxy makes sense, probably enhancing the pineapple character. There is an underlying vanilla kind of, again, yeasty kind of component that is giving me vanilla pineapple creamsicle vibes, or pineapple creamsicle vibes in general. It's really nice. It's not overdone again, so it works. The finish is what is really cool because it has a semi to full-on dry finish and a mild bitterness, but there's this like tart, slight, acidic kind of like pineapple twinge on the back of the palate, where it kind of breaks up the monotony of like the sweet pineapple juice and the sweet candied citrus character and stone fruit character. It finishes with this nice dank herbaceousness as well. Again, not really that bitter, mild bitterness, but the dryness is there, and that tart acidity definitely works well. 8.5%, a little warming in the chest, nothing on palate. This is fucking quite tasty. It's fine. Should I be surprised? Probably not. I probably shouldn't be, and I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm really not surprised this is tasty. I am a little surprised that I enjoy this one slightly more than the base, because Eugene's Axe was the first proper beer I've had from Fidens. Now I've had probably, I don't know, like 20 different Fidens beers at this point. And Eugene's Axe was like, okay, I understand why they get hyped. The mouthfeel on most of their beers, spectacular. Very akin to like the Treehouse in their prime, the other halves of the world, the Hop Butchers and breweries like that. So right from the get-go, I knew their mouthfeels were spectacular. And then I drank on the beer and I was like, okay, this is definitely a fantastic double IPA. It's not amazing, not blowing my mind, but it's fantastic. And as I continue to drink more and more Fidens, it was clear to me that they are very consistent and most of their stuff is really good. This is a slight step up from the base for me. I think the pineapple does enough to not take away from the beer and enhance it slightly. And again, they have a lot of other of their base beers with pineapple, so I'd like to try more at some point, but this is the first one I got a chance to try. How much better is this than, say, the upper echelon beers I've had from them? It's not. This is kind of somewhere in between. So Eugene's Axe with pineapple from Fidens, I'm going to give this a low 4.5. I'm going to go 4.4. So I gave the Eugene's Axe a 4.35. I'm going slightly higher with this 4.4. I think the pineapple does enough to enhance it slightly, and I think it's just fucking delicious. Again, the pineapple characters are really nice. It's not candied, which is a detriment a lot of times for me when it comes to fruited beers, where it's like if this would have just tasted like straight up pineapple Lifesavers. I like pineapple Lifesavers, but I don't want that to be the predominant note in an 8.5% double IPA. And it's not, so I appreciate that. Price point and availability. This is where it goes a little bit sideways depending upon where you are, what you can get your hands on. Typically, Fidens is like brewery only. You got to go to their brewery. They sell cans individually. I want to say a can of this is probably around the $6 range, like $5.75, $6, $6.25, something like that. However, I paid $8 for my can because a local bottle shop here, the Beer Keep on Elmwood Ave in Buffalo, they got their hands on some of this and Suarez, and they sell individual cans, so they charge a couple dollars more. I'm fine with that. They're the ones that put in all the work to get the Fidens. I'm pretty sure they drove down to the Albany area and picked up some of their stuff along with Suarez. So $2 extra for a can to not have to trade for it, not have to buy it on secondary, not have to know somebody going to Albany or know somebody in Albany, Kyle over No Hype Beer Reviews, is fine by me. However, if this was local and it showed up, would I buy this for, $30 a 4-pack? Probably not. I would buy a can here and there to try like I did this time around, and that would be it. So cheaper at the brewery like it typically is. If you get distro and you see this in your neck of the woods, it's going to be more expensive, plain and simple. And availability is Fidens. As far as I know, they don't really distribute outside of New York State, certainly the Albany area. But again, you'll see them get drips and drabs outside of New York. Virginia, I know Josh over at Last Beer, good friend of mine, fellow beer tuber. He's seen their stuff at a local bottle shop. Here in Buffalo, we see their stuff. I know some other folks have seen it. So I don't really know as far as distro goes, but I know that they're one of the most sought after breweries, certainly on the East Coast. So and for good reason. They make some fantastic hop forward beers. If you've never had any of their beers and you love hop forward beers, you owe it to yourself to try some of their stuff at some point in your life because they're killing it. Probably the best hop forward brewery in the state of New York as we speak, if not the best, one of the best. So I'm really happy I tried this one out. I really did enjoy it. So if you've had this one before, post in the comment section. If you've had this in the base, what was your preference? This is a slight preference over the base. I would like to revisit the base considering that was the first beer I've ever had, just to see, do like a re-review of it, just see where I kind of stand on it. But I think the pineapple adds enough without taking anything away, and it's not overbearing with the sweetness. It's not overbearing with a candy because it does say natural flavors, but it doesn't have a natural flavor kind of kick to it. So anyway, appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. To the next one. Cheers.